What's up, Internet? We are back in the wonderful world of Opoona. You might be wondering what we're going to do today. That is a very valid question. I'm not 100% sure. I know we have to get a laser coat, but in order to get that, we need an absurd amount of money. I know I need to make my chair stop squeaking, but it's kind of an old crappy chair. We need money for the laser coat, so that's kind of immediately out of our range of options. We also need to go after the super rare secret boss that completely destroyed us last time, but having more experience and a laser coat would help. So I think otherwise we need to go to the Intelligence Sea. I'm thinking that will be our goal for today. We're gonna go to the Intelligence Sea and see what we can do. That's kind of what I'm hoping to do. What we do beyond that, I'm not really sure, because at this point I kind of lose track of what I need to do in games, so hopefully this is just going to sort of give me a greater idea of what we need to do. That's what I'm hoping for, anyway. Okay, so let's hop on our board, and let's find the exit, which I believe is up here. I've got to remember how to navigate this place better, because navigation is tricky in this game. Also, I'm hoping this is looking remotely good. I'm looking at the playback on here, and it seems to have a bit of a stutter, which is weird, because I should be using my optimal settings to avoid that sort of thing. Unfortunately, if that's the case, I think we're just going to have to live with it. Although I don't think this is going to be the longest episode ever, just because I feel like absolute hell right now, and I'm probably just going to go back to bed once I'm done this. This is the license tower. This isn't where we need to go. I don't even know what to do with this place. We need to find the travel place. That's where we need to go. That's the plan. Find travel place. Why is Tokyo like the worst place ever? It's literally the starting area too. Okay, well, let's try going down and traveling down the hall. I think that's going to be the plan. We're going to see if that does the thing. Okay. And then we'll try going this way. Or do we want to go this way? This way looks like where we want to go. Yeah, I'm really hoping that stutter is just something I'm noticing. Because if there is a bit of a stutter to this, I apologize. I'm actually not sure what that's about. I probably have to reset everything, and that'd be a whole thing, so we might keep this short, I'm not sure. Okay, we need to go to the Intelligence Sea, I think. That's not where I want to go. Okay, let's try this again. Intelligence Sea. We could go to Paradiso. There's something there we need to do. But that's literally just a matter of I really, really want to get that extra thing that we missed. I'm not sure that would actually take us there. I think that's that other third place where our parents are being held that's next to Paradiso or part of it. I don't remember how to get back there, though. We could probably use a pocket taxi to get back there, honestly. But I'm thinking that as long as we progress through the plot, eventually we'll get back there anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. At least immediately. Alright. So we're in the Intelligence Sea. Now, things I remember that we have to do here. Well, I remember we have to get into a boat. And I think that helps with something to get us pretty much what we need for the end of the game. But I think there's something else that we need to wander around for. Unfortunately, I can't remember what that is. So we'll just sort of feel it around once we get around here. So, which way is what? You explain to me where stuff is. I mean, I would, but that's because software has always been buggy. Okay, this is going to take us to one of the corporations, isn't it? I guess we'll see where this goes and see if we've unlocked anything in this general area. I think we can hand in some of our collectibles for something somewhere around here as well. Okay, so that over there in the water, that little island area, I believe we need to get there. And the how of that is what we need to figure out. I'm seeing what appears to be like a little ramp over there, so that might be where we need to go. So we'll keep that in mind. I'm just going to see if there's a ramp or like any way down from over here. If there is, I'm not seeing it. Okay, well, let's go inside the building. Thought I saw a secret code. I did not. But before we head off to the other building, we might as well see if there's anything here we've missed or have unlocked. Okay, well, nothing new for Rangers. That's not surprising. But I want to see about the other badges we have. Let's see if there's something. Alright, well, I guess we've got all the licenses here. So let's try going up here. I think we have to go hand the Rafflesia over to someone in the medical area, or it's the medical or the living area of this tower, I believe. Someone talked about a red flower. Okay, well, we did that. You stole my dog. Gimme. Can I bug you to give me my dog back? Let's find out. Full bar. I mean, you did just literally say this. Have it sent to my Lifeborn residence, thank you. Great. We got one of our dogs back. Nice. If nothing else, we can feel good about that. This is probably a room that has nothing of terrible use to us. But the fact that we found that dog, that's, you know, that made it all worthwhile. Big dog. That's not my dog, though. Uh-oh. Too good at rescuing people. Because there's a big conspiracy going on. No, I mean, I've been there. I know about the conspiracy thing. We're gonna rescue this planet. We have the license that lets us do that now. I don't remember what you actually use the rescuer license for. I'm pretty sure you just use it to take those little crappy lifts in Tokyo that are otherwise completely useless. They look important, but they are completely useless. This guy has hair. It's rather impressive. Alright. Well, I think we've done everything on this floor, so let's try going up. And by going up, I guess I mean... going back down a floor to take another elevator to go up a floor, I guess. Still not as confusing as Tokyo is. Tokyo is still the worst. Alright. So let's try this. least we don't have to explore that chunk anymore. So let's try going this way to the office area. Because I think this is where the hospital area is, and I believe that's where we have to have the Rafflesia. We might have to talk to Ted's family as well. I don't know if you'll do anything of value to us. Frank. Awesome. Oh, no, too late. Unfortunately, this conspiracy goes all the way to the top, so I'm not too surprised, Frank, but I mean, if you could develop some laser coat equipment for me, that would be okay. It was very terrible. Okay, well, we're not getting... That's very pretty. It's a giant metal lotus. Alright. Let's see, is there anyone of value we need to talk to around here? I think similarly to the last route we took the wrong elevator to get where we need to. It's just the executive floor. The technology tree. That means a different thing than that. But I appreciate that it might be analogous to an actual technology tree. Alright, let's go up. I think this just leads us to a skypod. Pretty sure. Or the penthouse. There might be something here for us, though. Ah, skypod. Ah, poop. Goldie, you keep ruining things for us. And that was after you worked for the enemy. Alright. Doesn't look like there's anything around here. I think this just takes us to the roof. But we'll see what we can do up here. Maybe there's someone we can talk to. Okay, well, I do have that license. Hey, Sly, how you doing? Alright, so we have the fishing enthusiast license, so we at least have something to do here. We just gotta figure out how to get there. So you gotta appreciate a giant building that has basically a jungle on the roof. That's just kind of stylish. Stylish roof. Probably costs an absolute fortune to maintain. Alright. I need to go down. Yeah, that's... Twitch be like that. Sorry about that. It could be worse. I could be one of those people that manually instigates commercials every 10 seconds. Because I could do that. I don't. I fundamentally don't like that idea, but they do that. Commander Goldie cares about the planet so much that he wants to be a part of the conspiracy to ruin it. Did I not do this already? Or is this guy just not programmed to have a different line of dialogue? Okay, well, we'll take a look and see if we can heal some more people. Goldie is no longer here. We can't bug him about stuff. That's probably for the best, seeing as he's our enemy. Maybe. Ted. Wanna heal Ted. Oh, poop. I mean, I haven't found any yet, but If we do... There's a jungle on the roof in Metal Max, is there? Okay, looks like we've kind of helped everyone here already. That's not how you spell holy. I'm pretty sure there's an E in holy. Okay. Okay, so I guess we did help all the patients. That's good. I remember helping them, but it's weird we didn't get much of a chance to actually do anything about that. Okay, so this is the cafe. I don't think there's much here we need. Alright, let's try going up. So I think the next step of all the things we need to do is utilize our fishing license to talk to the guy, which I think will help give us a thing for the Orculp. And there's Chaika. Alright, cool. I feel like I should talk to you a second time. I and my parents. That's good English. You did good English today, Chaika. Except not really. That's pretty cool. Skyscraper over a river. That actually gives me some design ideas thinking about that, you know? I might have to do some, like, environmental design for the hell of it to come up with an idea there. That's inspiring right there. I really need to play those Metal Max games. It's the short version of the story, I guess. They look very, very cool. It's a shame so few of them have been brought out to English. And one of them is Metal Saga, which is ridiculously hard to find. Okay, I don't think anyone was here that we needed to talk to, but I swear someone needed the Rafflesia from around here. Maybe it was from the other building, I can't remember. I'm not seeing anyone that really stands out as someone I need to talk to. I'm pretty sure this is just where I need to go to fight the giant, weird hologram virus me's. That weren't me, but were viruses that for some reason looked like me to encounter, but outside of that were just viruses. That feels like forever ago because it was. Pretty sure we're pretty close to the end of Opoona, but this last chunk of the game after Paradiso, I kind of lose track of where I have to go, just because this is kind of where my memory starts failing about this game. Okay, let's try going to the building across the way. It could be that we need to go over there, maybe, but that's kind of the entrancey area. Yeah, I found one of the Metal Max games on PSN. I actually bought it, I just haven't had time to play it. That's a consistent problem with me, is just, you know, I've got so many things I have to play and things I want to play that I just have trouble actually doing anything. I have to jump from stuff. I can't do long form stuff all that much. Okay, the main server room. Oh god, this will end badly for us. We're gonna do it. For vague reasons, we're not going to do a thing. Actually, we are, but I remember this. If I recall, the server room nonsense is like endgame gauntlet fights, so we're gonna see what we can do there. Excuse me. Okay, but now that we've at least saved and we healed, if we get completely wiped, we should come back here, I think. So let's try and go again. This might be progress. This might have been a terrible idea. I'm not. I remember this destroying me the first time I played this and never coming back here, but hopefully. Well, I think a lot of my problem with just not being able to play as many games as I'd like to be is also that I have to, like, swap out so many different games so often because I have to, like, try and do 3 different games every week, 1 for review and, like, 2 for gameplay and research and stuff. And that's why we don't go here right now. Like, I think we had a better chance at fighting Tyrant than we had these. That's also kind of why we're doing long-form RPGs on this stream. It's because long-form RPGs are, like, my favorite thing to do, and it's like, I just don't have time to do them anymore. And it makes me sad. So this at least gives me an excuse to do the things I like the most. Which is also why once we cycle through all this stuff, one of my streams for next year is going to be a long-form RPG. But only one. I'm not going to do 3 in a row as much as I would like to. I'm hoping to vary it up. Alright. Now, there was an environmental little ramp thing. I saw it. It was on the back side of the building. And my eyes did not deceive me. I think this is where we need to actually go. You can grind in Opoona, but it would take forever. Okay, we need to access that pier. So we gotta find the chairman, I guess. We need to show him that we have a fishing enthusiast license, I guess. But you can grind in this game, it's just, it would be slow to do so. And I don't particularly like grinding if I can help it. That said, I think the max level in this game is like 26, and I'm pretty sure we're like level 23 already, so this looks close to where we need to be for the actual Rafflesia, so let's explore this building more thoroughly, I guess. This is also where we had to go through to clean up some stuff. But yeah, that server room was no joke. I swear she was hitting on me. She needs to analyze my body sometime. That definitely is a pickup line. It's not a good one, but free time. Well, if you've got free time, make your own projects or something. They shouldn't be able to fight. So why did you have so much trouble fighting them? I think the chairman's on the roof. So that's where we're gonna have to go, but again, I remember someone around here needing the Rafflesia. Well, I remember someone around here vaguely needing a red flower, which I know a Rafflesia is. And we got one around, like, the big red one with the ghost kid. So I'm guessing somewhere around here. I don't think it's in the container room, because that sounds mostly like shipping and manufacturing. Could be wrong about that. Hi, dog. Container pride. You know, if you're a named character, that usually means you're important, but you don't actually seem to be. Maybe that is in and of itself an important distinction. I'm a named, unimportant character. For there's only one. Okay, that way is not going to take us anywhere we need to go. And this entire room is basically useless to us. Let's try the next floor. So I think living quarters is around here somewhere. Servers. I don't think we need servers. I didn't mean to go up, though. Alright, President's office. Well, if the President's the one we need to impress with the fishing license to go fishing and use his personal pier, this seems like a place we need to go. You do not get to be quiet, Olgo. I need the pier. Let me use it. Melanie! Okay, so this is not Chairman Hope. He's just some other big shot, I guess. That's not confusing at all. You look like someone I need to show a fishing license to. I love to fish. I have a big fancy license for it. There we go. Nice. Can I increase my friendship with him immediately? I don't think so. That's alright. Okay. That's progress right there. Right on. We got a jet ski. The restaurant. I don't think we actually need to be in the restaurant at any point. Hey, secret code. Right on. Cold code. Is that enough for a unlockable? Let's find out. One short of the frozen code, which at this point is already obsoleted, so no. I mean, at least I could sell it, I guess. Get a little closer to the laser coat. That is absurdly expensive. This guy looks fancy. Probably just for looks. Okay, so let's go take out a jet ski. Because that's our life now. Life of someone who has boarded a jet ski. But I want to check out some of these rooms to the side just to see if there's something that's vaguely not useless around here, although I don't think there is. I swear there was a living quarters around here. Oh well. Maybe not. Need to go get a jet ski, which I think was like the next major story thing we need to do. So, a little bit of progress there. Plus, we got a new dog. That's pretty good. Alright. The Bravo Museum. Oh. Or maybe it's on this side. I need to explore. Residentials. This is where we need to be, I think. I think there was at least someone over here we had to talk to. I'm pretty sure I have it. It's called a Rafflesia. Well, that's annoying, because I do remember running into a kid, and I'm pretty sure that's how I got the flower. Alright, well, whatever. Screw it. We got a jet ski to go run around in. And now I genuinely have zero memory of what we need to do after this. I just remember we needed the jet ski at some point. So let's go hijack a jet ski. And we should have gone around the other way for mildly faster acquisition of jet skis, but Jet ski bodyguard is missing. Progress! The hover platform should not work on this. Oh, I see. So that's where you draw the line game, is it? Fine, whatever. Meow. Jet ski in. Alright, this is where we need to go. Okay, this thing handles, like... No, I would not like to fish. So shock you, but that's not actually why I'm here. That thing controls like a hippo. Alright, is there a big secret code around here? Let's find out. I doubt it would be on a rounded building anyway, but it's worth checking out. Ooh, we have an indoor garden. It's a rock garden. These are a huge mess. I've never understood why people like rock gardens, indoor or outdoor. No secret codes. That's disappointing. Fanny. Hey, those are fancy cards. He has an arbitrarily named thing that's basically the same thing, but it's slightly faster because reasons. Gotta admit, this guy's like a James Bond villain. He's got an underwater secret lab. Hey, there's the cold coat. We can turn that in for a frozen thing that we don't need anymore. Let's do that thing. Here, give that to Opoona. Let's see. Have a frozen coat. You can have a fire frozen coat. That just makes sense. Is there anything else around here? Nope. Chairman Hope. Uh-oh. I think we need to do that. Do we have any bait? Because I'm not sure I can just buy it. We have a little bit, not a ton, but... Alright, I guess we're gonna... Oh, he's got a little boat in like a moat in his underwater secret laboratory. Okay, so now we gotta go fishing for a legend, I guess. Let's do it. Meow, because I think we need that Seamaster license in order to ride the Orkalfin to go to the Dark Burrow. Meow. Let's do it. Come on, legend. He's Bondbite X. Found the legend. Did it in one. Could be he's the only fish here, I'm not sure. Come on. He has a lot of health. There we go. Good enough. Let's go turn that in. So I think we have everything we need right now. Alright. Chairman Hope. I have the scale of your legendary fish. I demand you give me Seamaster license. Two licenses? Rock and roll. I only wanted one. King of the Sea. Well, that was easy. Alright, well, I guess the next thing... Oh, he's got a little tram thing. He's got like a little boat in a moat. He's got a biplane. This place is cool. He's got UFOs and little hot air balloons. This game is really neat. Someone thought about that room. Even if it was just for the sake of having a very eccentric character. Okay. Fanny. That's a funny name. I can't sleep in the random bed, alas. Okay. So I think now we gotta go to the Orkulfin Coast. And that lets us go to Dark Burrow, I think. And if not, I guess we'll go get curb stomped by the tyrant again. This is not the place with the... Gotta go over to this building. Nope. Don't need fish anymore, thank you. Just wanna go. Not be here now. Whee! Alright. We got this. We're not perfectly built because that server room will completely destroy us, but maybe somehow we're strong enough to go fight Tyrant now, if all things go wrong for us. I guess we'll find out. Meow. Okay, Intelligence C. I just went back in there, didn't I? Well, that's no good. Let's try this again. Going back down the way we came so that we can leave and go back to the coast. So that we can ride an orca dolphin thing. I don't think there would be orca-dolphin hybrids because I'm pretty sure orcas try and eat dolphins at any chance they get. Pod station, this is where we need to go. And now we gotta go to the coast. And from there, hopefully great victory. Or defeat, one of the two. On this side because it's a vacation spot. Orkulfin Coast, now spelled different. They're spelled different again. Because consistency. Okay. Time to go ride an orca dolphin and maybe go fight some evil in their home turf. Maybe. But if nothing else, we got 2 licenses and a dog. We did something today. I'm not entirely sure what to do after this, but we'll figure it out. Alright. Out of the way. don't think that's going to give us much experience if I can take him out in one hit. I think Jingle mentioned that on the Pirate Island there's a pretty rare monster, and I don't think he was talking about the Tyrant. I think it's just a rare spawn. Well, we have Opoona, who's a sage, so that should give us an aura, right? Maybe? I don't know. I don't remember. We need to go to Darkboro. That way. I think it's that way. I'll pretend it's that way. Or not. Alright, well, nothing else, we'll try and take a whack at the Tyrant again. Maybe that'll give us some sense of progression. Problem is, if I recall, he has a move that basically instant kills us, and he attacks twice per turn. So I'm not looking to that fight with a great deal of optimism. But I've been surprised before. And who knows, maybe we'll level up on the way. Take that, Olympia man. Alright. Hey, we leveled. Right on, Opoona. I would assume that's an attack that hits multiple things at once. Now, I think that Sun move that Opoona has basically attacks consistently, and the more you use it, the stronger it gets. I think that's how that works. So if Opoona didn't get completely destroyed immediately, it would be worth utilizing that a lot in a fight if we were going for a longer form fight. Hang on, Ice Hair. I don't think you're fighting terribly fair right now. With your whole having infinitely more of you than me. Having knees. But you're all dead, so it doesn't matter. Alright. Hey, there's another level up. Okay, hold on. Let's see. That's Opoona's abilities. This is Kopoona's. So that recovers basically FP. That's pretty useful. So that hits numerous enemies that are all the same type. Okay. I would like to know actual numbers behind, like, the stats of my attacks, but what can you do? Let's explore Pirate Valley. Maybe we'll run into a rare monster that'll give us a lot of experience. It could be possible they were talking about Tyrant, but I don't think that's the case. What sort of experience do we get from this? That's not bad. What sort of experience do I need to level up again? Ooh, 34. So if we get 200 per fight, that would be 16, 17-ish fights. And Opoona needs 20 fights. I don't really want to just go into a fight with the Tyrant again, but we might end up doing that. So I don't want to grind. Oh no, Opoona. That's a problem. I mean, if we get 200 money each time as well. We need 250 fights in order to get the laser coat. That too sounds rather unappealing to me. We can't buy a pocket tent? That's rather unfortunate. Legend scale. Can I do something with that? Oh, I can actually use that on my bonbon. Should try and do that. What would that be? Ah, it's a coat. Let's see. Legend scale might be the best for that. Okay. Meow. Opoona, no! I'm noticing that that legend skill didn't really do much for the visuals, which is interesting. Okay, let's try and get to Tyrant crap without fighting someone. Gummies. Star humans. Wow, you are taking 0 damage from stuff. I'm thinking that's the rare enemy. I'm just not sure how to do damage to that. That might be something worth looking into. Do I have anything that will help with FP? Not really. Alright, well, let's take a stab at fighting Tyrant again. I think you get the booster back if you kill him, so we want that. Bonk. Well, that missed entirely. That's annoying. 2 damage. Yeah, this fight might be going badly for us. That didn't do much for us either. Oh no. No! Whoops. Ack. I do not like the way menus are handled in this game in combat. They're too fiddly. That's why I don't like using specials too much. Alas. But, on the bright side, we've learned something. What's up, Internet? We are back once again with Live Alive as I mess with the chat settings so I can actually see what's going on. This might be the last episode of Live Alive. I'm not sure. I'd like to finish tonight, but I am also feeling exhausted right now from being sick and stuff, so we'll see. Right now, we have to choose our finale protagonist. Now, I think I said this before, but this finale can, based on this choice, go like 8 different ways, just depending on which character you pick. Although, realistically, it's 2 different ways. Either you pick one of the other protagonists, or you pick Dio. And picking Dio ends with a kind of completely different finale. Now, who you pick here affects a couple things. First of all, it affects the character you're going to be stuck with the entire time, so pick a character you like, obviously. You will run to every other character, but your protagonist is like the one who leads your party and will always be there. I'm going to pick the ninja, because he's the character I associate myself with. But we have got to go through this final chapter, assemble our crew, and maybe do some extra stuff, we'll see. But the sun is coming up, and this actually goes basically exactly how the ending to this chapter went. Except something's about to happen that's a little different than we remember. Now, if I recall correctly, this changes slightly if you choose to leave rather than join Ryoma. But I chose to stick with Ryoma, so... Uh-oh. Some things might be happening. Uh-oh. 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 And now I think we're just in an invisible shadow box that we have to, like, run for X period of time, then it'll... Oh, that's kind of a... That's a right proper cool effect right there is what that is. Yep, yep. I like that. That's neat. I don't remember this visual effect of this. Oh, we got stairs. Stairs to the future, which drop us right here. You might already recognize this. It's been a little while for me, about a week or so. I'm gonna turn down the volume slightly. But yeah. So that map that we were on as Dio, well, that's the final map, except you'll notice that the colors are completely different. That's because things have changed a little bit since we played as good old Dio, because Dio is no longer the hero. Now, all the other protagonists of all the other chapters are actually presently in this map. We just have to find them. And we can join up with them, which is, you know, what we wanted to do. Now, the rules from the previous... I'm going to see if I can run. Just because right now, fighting on my own is not ideal. And I think because we chose not to fight so many things as the ninja, we might actually be in trouble if I get into proper fights. But the enemies you run into right now are random encounters, similar to Dio's chapter, except what you fight is randomized based on your overall team level. I recognize this guy. We're gonna see if we can get him on our team. Now the interesting thing is, I'm gonna grab all this crap. Depending on who your protagonist is, stuff can kind of change. Like, if I recall, if you pick someone specific, i.e., if your inheritor was Lee, which was our case, and you made her the protagonist, this guy will just join you. Because he's all about the romance. Unfortunately, we did not pick Lee, which means I think we actually have to fight him. But we wanted our caveman on our team. He's definitely... While we're going to have to unlock all the characters to get the proper ending, and I'd like to do that, I would very much like to get specific characters for our actual playable team. Because we can only use 4 characters. Now, I'm actually not sure how this encounter system works against your characters. Like, I'm not sure if it's like how Strabo existed in the previous chapter, where when you finally fight him, it just approximated his level 16 stats. Or I'm not sure if it takes into account what equipment they had, or their level, or what, or if they just have a fixed thing. This could end very badly for us. But I think we're okay for now, as long as I get to keep throwing Blades of Wind. And there's a specific reason I'm going after Tomba first. And it's because, first of all, we leveled him like crazy, but he also has some really good stuff on him. And that's really it. But Tomba is definitely a member of our team I want to keep on us. I think our team ostensibly is going to be our ninja, Tomba, Lee, and the robot. I think is what our team is going to ultimately end up being. Fortunately, this fight seems to be going okay for us. It doesn't seem like we're... I'm a little bit worried about how many more attacks he can get off, but as long as he does the consistent amount of damage he's been doing prior, we should be okay, and there's our victory. Hooray! And then we learned that he was a caveman of love. So of course we're gonna take him along. Let's go, Tomba. Alright. So, let's take a look at what Tomba's got, because his equipment is exactly what it was when we left off. This is actually why I've been steadily kind of picking and choosing what we've been going with as we've been going on. The cola bottle, despite the fact it's giving him 20 or so speed, we're going to remove that. The basic rock we will probably remove as well, because that's a huge boost to intelligence, which is useful for pretty much every character. So we're going to give him the basic rock and just increase that. We might end up giving that to Lee. I'm not sure if her abilities are based on IQ or speed. It might be speed. I'm working off the top of my head, although I do have a guide open for the final chapter if we need it. But we're not going to equip the cola bottle for an exact express specific purpose. I just want to see if... What does the King's Fang do for him? That's power increase. Okay. And the Venus figure... That's just stat boosts. Okay. So, we've got our second party member. We're gonna save. I want to save here, I think. Okay. I'm gonna pretend I remember how to get through this little maze. Now, there's another reason I picked the ninja, and that's because the ninja is one of 2 characters, if I recall, that's really obnoxious to get. The other is the cowboy, who's worse. If I recall, you have to, like, track him down in, like, 9 different locales, and it's just the worst thing. But let's see what this fight's now like. I'm a little bit worried about stats, but we'll see what we can do. I'd feel a lot more confident if we had a full team of 4 right now, but... yeah. Actually, this reminds me of something else I wanted to show off. I'll see if I can show it. because it's important I do. Well, that worked out well enough. Alright, well, I'll get to show it soon enough. Now, if I recall, I know where our inheritor is. But I don't want to go there necessarily right now. Okay, so this is important. Basically, all over the map, there are a bunch of hidden dungeons. However, since I don't plan on using every single character, I might skip, like, most of them. I might skip all of them, I'm not sure. The thing is about doing everything in the final chapter 100% is it gets to be a bit of a pain in the ass. Like this guy right here, if you want to do his hidden dungeon, it's only triggered by running using his specific run command, and eventually the game will just randomly eject you into his dungeon, which is not good. Likewise, for why I probably won't do 100% of this stuff is that there is a special super boss you can fight that requires you to run from 100 fights, and I just don't have time for that, and I don't care to try. And then he'll angrily, angstily read my mind, and then I think we have to fight him. No, you're wrong. I trust you, because I know what your whole thing is. You can read my mind. Yes, I'd like you to join, if only because I want to eject you from my party later on, but you have some stuff I really want. I'm gonna remove all this crap, because these are all awesome robot pieces of equipment. And this might shock you, but we do happen to have another robot that wasn't a turtle. Okay, so that's Labyrinth of Intelligence. I'm going to keep running around until we find people. Again, the cowboy's going to be obnoxious as hell. I'm looking for something specific to get the robot. I know where he is, but getting him is a pain. Oh, I might be able to show off the thing. Okay. I didn't equip the cola bottle, right? Here's why. And you might recall that I said the cola bottle's ridiculous because it's stat boost. Yeah, that's not why it's ridiculous. Like, that's pretty good, but... yeah, it does 999 damage, and it's an infinite use item. So it's a bit broken, but you have to beat the hardest boss in the game to get it, and it's just, like, dumb. Let's get our inheritor. But yeah, so this might be a lot of just spamming cola bottles at this point. Because why not, really? There's a reason why I wanted that item. It wasn't because of the stat boosts or the prestige around it, although those do help. It was expressly because it's the most ridiculous thing. But it's like a secret item you're not really supposed to be able to get, I guess, ostensibly. So when you do get it, it's kind of cool. So, I mean, at this point I don't even really need to do the dungeons, because, yeah, I could get better items for my character, but when I can just do this, you basically win at that point. I've actually never gotten to use the cola bottle. Like, I know what it does, but I've never actually seen it in use. It's kind of special. I'm very happy I get to show this off. It's the ultimate strategy. The power of Coke is just too strong in this game, unless you're one of those Pepsi guys. In which case, I feel bad for you for liking Pepsi. But, yeah, cola that you get from a woolly mammoth is just the most powerful thing ever. What's also really cool is this isn't the only, like, multi-use awesome item that the caveman gets. Like, I got the intelligence rock from him at one point. That, too, can actually do that. It doesn't kill everything instantly like the cola bottle, but rather what it does is it allows you to infinite use see how much health your opponent has, which is very useful in its own right. Oh, look, a bare knuckle. That's a reference to a different series made by a different company. That might have just been the translators having some fun. Which was Eon Genesis. It's nice to see Eon Genesis doing some stuff. They've done a lot of prominent translation work. They did the Great Battle games as well, which is quite cool. I have not played the translated Great Battle games, and I really should, because I do love those games. Alright. But yes, I decked out our Edgelord Future Boy entirely with robot parts because of this. Some sort of iron box. Now, this is an interesting item, because depending on which character you get as your main character, it has a different name. So for our ninja, it's Iron Box. If we played the Inheritor, it also would be. Caveman, it would just be a series of question marks. If we play as the Wrestler, it would be Parts. And if I recall, with our Edgelord here, it would be a battery, which is what it actually is. And we need that battery for our robot. And now we gotta go talk to good old Lee. And I believe she will fight us as well. Now, depending on which one of your inheritors you've got, the way this goes down is a little different. Lee picks a fight with you. Yun joins you. And Samo requires you to feed him. And healing herbs don't cut it. Lee Kugo. Hell yeah. And we got the sword. We can't use it for anything, but it was nice that Dio had returned it to the grave so that we can eventually go challenge him, because he's hanging out where Odio hangs out, because he is Odio. Now, I told you specifically not to pick up any items in Dio's chapter, specifically because if you do, they are removed from this chapter. And the thing is, it's a Chrono Trigger sort of thing, where, like, you know, if you open up the blue boxes in the past, the red boxes in the future are open, but if you don't, then you get better stuff. It's exactly that. Like, you could have gotten items in the past as Dio, but as I kind of alluded, he only has 2 hands, so there's not really a lot of point, whereas if you don't grab them in the future with these characters, it's just better stuff. So here's the cowboy. We're gonna have to track him down like 9 times. If it weren't for the fact that I like the ninja, I would have just, and I don't intend to use the cowboy, I would have picked him just because he's annoying. I think there's 2 hidden dungeons around here as well. I want to say Lee's is around here as well as Tomba's, but that would require me to actually figure out where they are, which I don't necessarily want to do, at least right now. But our cowboy is going to be the biggest issue when it comes to tracking down teammates, because at this point we have to get the robot, we have to get the wrestler, and we have to get our cowboy friend that I don't want to use. The thing is, the cowboy's annoying. The robot and the wrestler are pretty close together in where they are. Wow, you didn't die from that. That might be a concerning thing. Uh-oh. Lee, don't die, please. I don't think I actually have a healer on my team right now, which is not ideal. Now, I think this enemy has like 10 health, but yeah, I'm gonna run. That seems like the best bet. We are making progress towards the 100 run boss, though, which I don't want to fight. Not because I don't think I can take him. With the Cola Bottle, I can take pretty much anyone that doesn't have infinite defense, but You know what I just realized is the cola bottle's attack, it throws out the little lizard that was basically Zaki's loincloth in the prehistoric chapter. That's kind of neat. But really right now we're just gaining levels, trying to get our team together. I'm probably, if nothing else, going to have to use a guide to figure out where the cowboy is. Just because it's obnoxious. I'm going to run from this fight. Okay, teleport. So that's the special move that'll get him into his dungeon. But I think you have to... I guess we got lucky. Okay, I guess we're doing this now. So this is our edgelord's dungeon of getting special stuff. But he's a character I don't intend to use, so it doesn't do much good for us. But we'll see if we can find some cool stuff while we're down here at least. I like that it's a chimera of like a baboon, a duck, and a dog. A unicorn horn. Is that an item or is that equipment? That's an accessory. What does that do for us? Yeah, so her abilities I think are based on speed. So we could give her as a cola bottle, but I don't want to. Unicorn intelligence increase. Well, I give it to our ninja pal, who's very much based around intelligence then. Although, Magic Pendant would increase it by a little bit. I don't actually know what that does. I can't think of what it does anyway. I think if we were to form, he can scan their brains. And I think that's an important thing for his... Ooh, Nightmare Helmet, which I think is a pretty solid piece of equipment for our ninja. Drops our stats, though. I don't like that. That's... okay. I think Nightmare Helmet also gives us a fair bit of stats immunity. Okay, so I think what it does is our character's special ability button basically just contextually figures out what's needed. So because I was next to a guy whose brain could be read, it read the brain. Whereas if not, then we're going to use like the sniffing power, which is actually useful because if we want to find our caveman's special ability, we actually need to use that. To be fair, you all treated Dio like crap. So, you know, I feel it's crappy what happened to you guys, but at the same time, you guys treated him like crap. So I've got very little sympathy. To be fair, he's only the Demon King because you made him the Demon King. Like, yeah, he's horrible, sure, I guess, but really, he's just a tragic figure who did nothing wrong, really. And it looks like we are just repeating dialogue. Alas. Ghosts can only say so many interesting things. I am not going to try and fight that thing. On the bright side, if we keep running into him, we might very well run into the... Ooh, Coral Ring. If I recall, that gets rid of a bunch of status afflictions. That might be really good. Well, it increases IQ, if nothing else. I'll take it. But yeah, I think Coral Ring removes some status affliction chance. So it's good to get a couple of those if you can. just continue to use the cola bottle, because why wouldn't I? When you have the ultimate weapon, soda pop dropped from a woolly mammoth very, very long ago, why don't you use it? Oh, he's got a snake on his butt. That's a cool chimera. Alright. At the very least, I want to collect our party. I'm not against doing some of these extra stages, but at the same time, with the cola bottle, there's not a ton of reason to. It does kind of break the game open. Hey, another unicorn horn. Nice. Ooh. Okay, we got a bloody magic robe. That'd be good on our ninja. Let's find out. Increases power by a fair bit, but drops intelligence. I don't think I want that for him. For Lee, that might be a lot better. Because she's based around power and speed. I think I might give that to her, yeah. Alright. Okay. I do not remember how to get out of here. That's not ideal. On the bright side, extra experience for the team. That is largely unnecessary at this point. If Lee ever gets a turn, I will see what that attack increase does for her, because I'm genuinely curious. This is where we entered. Or it's a dead end. Okay. Bunch of dogs. I'm thinking if we attack the master, the dogs just kind of go away, like the robots, the strategic fight. I'm thinking, let's test that theory. Yep. Maybe they were robot dogs. Freeze image. You know, that was really kind of the interesting thing of his entire chapter, was he was not really an effective fighter at all. And he kind of relied on everyone else to do all the hard stuff for him so that he could sort of strategically take out singular targets. But he wasn't really a straight-up fighter. Okay, let's try going this way. This is the way we came. But... it might very well lead us where we need to go. Okay, this is new. I'm not going to read those because I don't need to. I think a lot of these dungeons do contain bosses, though, so there's actually like an incredible amount of content in the final chapter. Holy water, I believe that's a healing item. Boom. Right on. Okay, where do I want to go? Well, that's not it. I'd like to get those robot parts out to our robot, though. I think I know where everyone but the cowboy is at this point. Like, the robot and the wrestler are pretty close by to each other. They're in the castle, where you start in the base chapter. And the cowboy just kind of runs around, which is annoying. Which is why you typically pick him if you want everything to go easy for you. Although the ninja runs around once or twice. It's not as bad as the cowboy, though. Hey, Talbot hit level 18. Nice. Alright. There's chest. I don't really have a strong need for any of these chests, though. Again, I've got a weapon that pretty much decimates everything, so... I'm pretty sure the final boss only has, like, 2,000 health as well, so it's like, well, 2 turns should do it, as long as you don't have, like, unlimited defense. I'm really just trying to figure out how to get out of here at this point. But the neat thing is at the end of every dungeon is like the ultimate weapon for each character. Which means that the robot does in fact actually get a weapon. Although you could have given our future edgelord a bowling ball and given it to the robot. It's like the worst thing ever. And that would be our edgelord's weapon. The gutsy glove. To be fair, he didn't need to be stopped until you did a thing, along with everyone else. Oh, we're back at the castle. That saves me some legwork. Alright. Now if I recall, the robot is kind of on the terrace where Dio and the princess hung out. Also, we can now grab all the swords off the walls. Whoopsie. Oopsie. Ooh, that's some damage. Fortunately, I think we'll be okay. I might be wrong about that, actually. Uh-oh. No, it's fine. Enjoy the refreshing taste of cola. Alright, gotta grab this. Got a parasite sword. Which increases defense and attack, but lowers everything else. It's tricky. Because, I mean, I could give it to Lee for the attack boost, but the speed decrease is kind of obnoxious. Especially considering I know that there's going to be another sword we can grab. There's a silver holy robe, a unicorn horn, a scroll that does a bomb effect. Let's see if that robe is any better. Well, it doesn't do what I'd like it to do, so no, I don't think I will use it. That's a lot of increase to the IQ, though. I kind of like that. Like, that's the interesting thing about this final chapter, is when everything increases your stats, it also has, like, a decrease effect. So, everything's kind of a trade-off, and you kind of have to figure out what stats matter to you for your build. Uh-oh. I think she was guarding the room. Well, we got it. No problem. The delicious, refreshing taste of the cola nut. We're all leveling up now. Hooray! Oh, it'd have been fun to sit on the throne and, like, make evil proclamations like you can do in Chrono Trigger. There's a sword, there's a shield. Significantly better than they would have been in the previous chapter. I'm trying to wrap my head around this enemy design because it appears to be an Ouroboros, but also it has a human torso sticking out of it. Which I don't know how that works, considering that the Ouroboros is like the loop that never ends. It's a snake that devours its own tail. So how you can stick a human torso out of it's kind of weird. Also getting a lot of levels here. I approve. Okay, let's see if that shield is worth a damn on us. Oh hey, we can equip the Gutsy Glove. I don't think that'll do much for us. I'm not sure we can equip the shield. No, I guess not. Interesting. Maybe, maybe Lee can equip it. I'd like to keep her better equipped if I can. Doesn't seem like it. Oh well. I'm not sure who can equip shields, actually, other than Dio. Could be no one. It could be like a redundant thing to pick up. I think once you get to the teleport dungeon, you won't teleport back into there, so I don't think we have to worry about that, which is good, because I don't want to have to go all the way back there. It's round and made out of steel, and it opens up, but it's missing something. Let's give it the iron box. Hooray! Yes. Yes, I will remove someone. Unfortunately, you can't just have a giant crowd of people that swap in and out. But, since we have the robot parts, thanks to Xeno, we can fully kit this guy out. So, let's see what we can do about equipment for Robo. A lot. We can give him the Amethyst Shield. That's pretty cool. His attacks seem to be HQ IQ based, so I'm not sure we want to. Ooh, maybe. I was gonna say maybe we want to give him the rock. Thinking that goes without saying. Actually, let's optimize and see what the game gives him. Okay. And here we can equip all the robot parts from the future chapter. And in doing so, we unlock a bunch of special abilities for him. And that's the only way to get those onto him, too. So you have to, like, play four-dimensionally when it comes to planning out how this final chapter goes, really. You have to, like, plan and set things up far in advance. And I think that's really cool, honestly. Can't pick any of those. That's okay. Okay. I'd really like to not run into these guys ever again. Got the Defender. Can't equip anything there. Defender increases vitality. That's interesting. Ooh, that increases speed. That could actually be really useful for Lee. Ah, but you can't equip it. Crap. Guess I'll give her a unicorn horn, because why not, really? Really, anything that can increase her speed and attack are like what you want on her right now. Like, that would be interesting, because that gives you a power increase. In fact, it's a pretty notable power increase, but the speed decrease... I'll give it to her. Hey look, it's this guy doing things he would like to do, like working out, because that's all you can do when you're a wrestler, I guess. Now, I think if Lee is your main character, he just straight up joins you. But everyone else, you have to fight him. But not before we get to watch this lovely display of him. I think he's just practicing his jazz tap routine. There's nothing there. Okay, let's talk to this guy. Who is it? It is I. No, I'm not an enemy. I want to fight you anyway. Okay, Boulder. You asked for it. As I knock something off the table. Boom. Down you go. Yes, let's work together. No. You hang out here for a while. I just need to make sure we're actually on speaking terms. Nobody. The point is, he's a friend now. Which I think is all that we need to do. Okay, so all we have to do now is find our cowboy friend. The problem is he is everywhere at once. And nowhere at once. Gonna grab all this stuff that I could have had earlier, but chose not to for obvious reasons. Oh, crap. Okay, here's a lot of things we have to kill. It matters very little in the long run, but... Uh-oh, you guys are in trouble. Yeah, our robot's kind of awesome. Oh, I didn't want to run from that fight. Oh, well. There's just so much crap. Unicorn horn, potion number 9, peach bun. Food items from every other walk of life, basically. Yeah, that looks about right. Yeah, no, I think I'm okay with that. I just want to make sure the cola bottle's not equipped because it's kind of our ace in the hole. And really the only trick we need. But our robot friend is pretty well equipped. Like, he should be able to heal himself up pretty much whenever he needs. Plus, he counteracts, like, everything. The robot's a very cool character. He's definitely a good teammate to have on any party, really. Alright. I don't have this. This is, I think, the ninja dungeon. You need a bunch of keys that you get as dropped items. It's kind of a big pain in the ass to go through this. But we're here, so I might as well, I guess. Should be able to get keys from these fights as well. Have delicious, delicious cola! Boop! drops. Really, I'm more interested right now in just finishing up the party and finding our cowboy friend. I want to take a look. I did find a useful thing on finding him. See if I can find it. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, now if I want to find him, let's see. How do I find him exactly? Ah, crap. I lost it. I'm gonna have to look it up. I have it on a tab, but I got like a million tabs open. Okay. So I think we're going to the mountains next if we want to find him. There we go. We should be okay now. Yes, I believe our cowboy friend is in the mountains. Somewhere. But at least this is a chance for us to get some experience. I will say this does kind of homogenize the strategy a little bit when you've got one thing that's just the beat the game item, but it's still pretty cool, I think. Less thinking, more cola drinking. Okay, so we gotta go to the mountains. That would be this place. But I'm hoping it's becoming apparent that as we've leveled a little bit more, enemies kind of been cycling in and out a little bit. I do appreciate that our robot has like an area of effect heal that affects more than just him. That's why he's kind of one of the must-have characters. Like, you can do a lot with how you set up your team, but the robot is just ridiculously good. Even more so if you can put the other robot stuff on him from the future chapter. Like, that character can get a little bit powerful, but he's kind of outclassed by basically everyone. But the robot's just ridiculous. Alright. Oh, getting tired. Still, anti-field activate. Oh, our robot looks sad. He's a sad, giant-looking baseball with a baseball hat and glasses. I quite like that robot design. It's cute. I'm not sure why they went with sort of a baseball shape, but that's what he looks like. He looks like a baseball with glasses, and that's fine, but it's a little weird looking. Also, he kind of has roller skates, although I think those are supposed to be like tank treads. They look kind of like roller skates from this angle, though. So our cowboy friend should be around here, I think. And I think once we run into him one more time, I might call it for tonight. We've already been doing this for an hour. I'll find him next time, and then finish this game, and maybe do some bonus stuff. We've assembled the team, we've discovered the magical healing properties of cola. I think the caveman's secret dungeon's around here as well. You kind of want to look around here for it, as well as our cowboy buddy. Because they're kind of in the same general vicinity as each other. Well, we seem to be doing okay. Not really run into any problems, as long as we don't run into that one guy who just doesn't take damage. As long as we don't run into him, we're fine. Drink more cola. And he's dead. Right on. Oh, high speed up. He's healing us. I do love that move. If anything, you keep the robot around for the fact he counters basically everything and can heal. And group heal. He's too good to have on your team. There you are. Join us now. Cowboys. This is why I don't like cowboys. Oh, there's a magical wafting. The smell of meat. It's coming from this wall. We better bash it in with our caveman face. And because he only knows one word. Well, let's go have a cave adventure, I guess. This is where all the meat came from, all these mammoths. Will they give us more colas? Probably not, because they're not king mammoths. There was only ever one. It's unfortunate that there was only ever one. But yeah, the caveman chapter is way too strong for all the really cool secret stuff you get. Like the plus 30 like intelligence rock you get is kind of ridiculous in its own right. Just for its sheer stats boost. And that lets you see enemy health as well, if you use it as an item. I don't know where I'm going in all this. But at least we get to enjoy the ride. We get to see weird-ass enemy designs. Alright. Cola bottle! There's level 22. Hey, golden hairpin. I think that's a pretty powerful item. I think that prevents petrification. Or it might be an item. I'm pretty sure it's a piece of equipment, though. Yeah, equipped on the head, so... It decreases our defense, but increases our IQ. And it does give us status affliction protection, so it's useful to have. I'll give that to Lee. I wonder if that counter heal that our robot has is affected by intelligence. Because if it is, we could just equip a whole metric crap ton of intelligence stuff on him. He's got crazy vitality as well, which is pretty cool. Plus 10. Oh, I like that Genji armor though. With those tabby on him. I think we were just down. Yeah, we were just here. Okay. So we just went in a big circle. That's fine. That's okay. That's fine. No problem. You throw all the enemies you like at me. It's not gonna matter much unless they've got unlimited defense. Like that one guy. But seriously, screw that guy. He just took away all the fun of being able to just spam one item forever. Alright. Pull the bottle. Alright. And that's a dead end, so we just gotta go the other way. That's fine. I can live with that. Speed off. And oh yeah, that just heals everything. Just park a robot in the middle of all our team, we're good, basically. Okay. So we tried going up before, so let's go down this time. I don't know where my cat disappeared to. Must be sitting right behind me. Sitting on my armrest a second ago. Alright. Well, we didn't heal from that, but we didn't exactly need it because we took basically no damage. Alright. Oop, there we go. Knock him on his butt. And take out everyone else. Because strategy. You can drain my stats all you like, my friend. My damage is still gonna take you out instantly. Looks like there's some frozen things in the next door. I speed up. Bang, bang, boom. Looks like they are frozen cavemen. From the looks of it. Ah, you moved out of the way. No fair. Also, the idea of counter healing in general, I just like that. That's a neat idea you don't see too often in games. The idea that, oh, you're gonna take damage, but you can counter heal. You know, it's a novel idea. I don't know what an Alice biscuit does. We must research. Healing. Okay. Kind of wish the item descriptions were a little bit more descriptive, but, you know, you get what you pay for. I found a thing in a box for free. I get the description of a thing that didn't cost anything. Anti-field! I do love my robot. He's good. I think he's the most must-have teammate. I would argue Lee is pretty high up there as well. You could argue the other inheritors, but I think Lee is just the best out of them by a very wide margin. Oh look, it's that father-son duo once again. I don't think we'll be able to take these guys, but it is a different encounter, so let's find out. Nope, I think I'm gonna run from this, because I feel like, yeah, these guys are actually scary. These little robot mites, I don't like them so much. I do like these chimera designs. The final chapter, this game in general has great enemy design and great artistry, but I think that the final chapter really dials it up to 11, because a lot of the stuff you see here is just basically everything from every other part of the game, just recolored, but some of the stuff is exclusive to it. Got a shirt for our edgelord that I don't intend to give. I don't know if that's... it's an accessory. Increases IQ by what appears to be 15 points, but decreases vitality by 5. That seems like that would be very useful to slap on our robot friend. We are getting really close to the end of this game. It's been quite a journey we took. It took about a year to get here, but here we are. I wonder if I'm to wait. Or if this is just a thing that's there. Hard to tell. I mean, there was a big angry fish we could have fought in a different chapter, and it kicked my ass pretty hard. But I don't exactly have anything I can do to interact with that, so... I guess we'll just keep moving. Run! Don't like those guys so much. Got the bone axe. The final piece of equipment for good old Tomba. Increases his damage pretty spectacularly, as well as his power outright by 20 points. Guess we'll give him some unicorn horns, because why not? He actually does have a pretty impressive intelligence stat for someone who's not capable of actually speaking. How do I get out of here now? Gotta go back all the way we came. See, that was the fun thing about the teleport dungeon, is that at least when you were done, it just let you go. Although maybe the fish room will just, like, have a giant whale in it that ejects you with its blowhole or something. I think that room might have just been filigree, but we can take a look. So I'm impatient, I don't want to have to walk all the way back. Yes, yes I do. I do not have a top or a gold top knot. I just have a regular one. And even then, I think I had to give it up at the end of the Japanese chapter. I think that's probably the maiden in the pond. You give her a regular top knot and you get a gold one back or something. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever interacted with that NPC. What's over here? Nothing. Okay. Not a damn thing. Although I will grab that other chest because we're here. Eat cola! I once heard about, like, deep-fried cola. Like, that was some kind of weird fair food that they, like, took cola syrup and somehow made it into a batter and deep-fried it. That sounds like a heart attack. Really. Like, just nothing good will come of that. But bizarre fair food is bizarre fair food, I guess. Alright, we're getting close to exiting this place. Have some cola! It's the drink of choice when eras collide. And genres. And we try and stop the evil that was us all along. Spoilers. And this takes back to the start. This takes back to the start. Oop. Lee's okay though. Boom. Alright, and I think we're done 2 of the dungeons. Plus we have most of the party except for the cowboy. I think that's gonna be it for tonight. We still have to get the cowboy, we still have to beat the game, and maybe do a few more dungeons, we'll see. But that'll be for next time. And I guess maybe tomorrow we'll be here starting a new Let's Play, or the next day, I'm not sure, but as I've announced on the main channel, I've got 2 more that we're going to cycle through. One when we finish Scotch Force, which we have already finished, so I'm ready to start, and one for when we finish this, as well as an additional one for when we finish Opoona, but that'll be a few episodes away yet, I think. So look forward to that. Not sure which one of the 3 we're going to do for the next one immediately. I might quiz the Discord and see what they want to see first. But I'm thinking it'll either be the best PS2 game of all time, or Road Trip, which could be pretty fun as well. But either way, I gotta hook up my PS2 and see how all this equipment likes each other, but we'll see. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, follow the stream to know we go live, because we try and stream as often as possible, usually 2 or 3 times a week, sometimes 4. Got Saturn Day for sure, so look forward to that as well. You might also want to check out and subscribe to my YouTube channel, see everything else I do, which is a lot of stuff. Just put up 2 Game of the Year lists, and I should have a review out tonight or tomorrow, depending on how my schedule shakes out. But look forward to that. And if you really want to make my day, check out the show's PayPal or Patreon. Support the show any way you can so that I can continue to do what I do to the best of my ability, which in this case is try and gather a team in this bizarre clashing of eras and drinking an awful lot of Coca-Cola, thanks to a mammoth king from far, far-flung past, because the cola in this game is ridiculous. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, Internet.